Hello, and welcome to week 34 in this Stitch Circle Show Challenge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look below in the description box or under the little word more, find week 1, and there I will explain everything. There is also a link to the Facebook group. You can apply if you want to do the embroideries. If not, don't apply. And there also is a link for how I have sewn such a cover. Not this here, but the cover itself together if you want to make such a cover. That is the free information that is in the description box. My name is Lisbeth and I'm the host for this Dogma Rule Challenge. And it's all about circles. Circles is one of my favorite forms or shapes, and I like circles a lot. But yeah. But let us see here what the book looks like. You can see it is getting quite fat. And I would also say you don't need to have a book like this. You can buy a sketchbook and put them in. You can sew them on a scroll, your small samples, or you can buy an old sheet in a second-hand store and sew them on there, or you can buy a sketchbook and put them in, or put them in a box. And every time you need inspiration, grab your scroll or your book or your box and look at it, and I will promise you at the end of the year you will have so much inspiration in this book, so you can probably come up with a lot of several Dogma Rules yourself, or you can start mixing them or work further on them. That is also an option. But let us see here where I left you last time. That was here in this blue spread here. So I will just let it be open there, and then I will find the materials and tell you all about the Dogma Rules for this week 34. So the rules are as following, and I will of course write them here below so you can read them quietly instead of me blah 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 blah. But you need a piece of fabric in a light color of your choice as a background. And then we have to cut out a donut shape in black in another piece of fabric. And that shape has to be in the outer ring 1 centimeter smaller, or a little, or 1.5 or 2 centimeters smaller than your fabric is, or not your fabric, but your traced circle. So depending on how big a circle, if your circle is, for instance, 14 centimeter in diameter, your ring will have to be 11 to 12 centimeter in the outer ring. And then you will decide how fat you want your donut or your ring to be. But I haven't decided that yet. And if there's room enough, we will have to cut a small circle out also for the middle here. But let us see how it can fit in here. When you have this donut, you place it on your fabric, and then you sew only fly stitches with a knot, and I will show you that stitch. And the last rule is use threads in colors you think look nice to your fabric. And I have chosen these colors here, and I don't know which one I will use it. And I can see they match my nail polish today, but that is a coincidence. But away with them, and I will start cutting the circle out. So first I want to trace a circle, and you can use a template if you have one. And I have a box of things to punch cookies out with. So I think I want this size here. So let me see. I will have to cut a little of this fabric off because, let me see if I'm in frame, because it is a little too big, my fabric, but I can take care of that when I have done my embroidery. But this is a circle. And then I will have to cut this out here of my black fabric. And let me see. This one is 12.5. And this one is 10.5. So it's a little too small, perhaps. I can see how much this is. And my black fabric is too small, but luckily I have another piece here. So I will trace that, and for that I will have to use my charcoal. There, my charcoal pen, and then I will have to decide how big my ring is going to be. And I think about here. Because then there's room for a little dot here in the middle. So I'm so sorry if my head or my hair or anything is coming under here. But I would really like to center it. There. So now I will just cut it out. I'm not used to cutting in fabric this way here, so this is also new to me. So if there is any white lines, I can dab them off, or I can turn the fabric upside down. So there. That was the first circle here. And let me see how it fits. Yeah, it is a little big, perhaps. But let us see if it will be working. And then I will have to cut this one out. And perhaps I should take this small scissor here instead. And if I cut it here, I think it is going to be quite wonky. It would have been easier to do it in paper, I think. There, turn it this way. Yeah, it is a little wonky. I think I will see if I can nurse it a little. So this is as good as it gets, and now we will see if I can make a small one here. And I know why the circle gets so wonky, and that is because this line here is so thick. So when you cut it sometimes at the inner and sometimes at the other, and sometimes at the outer and sometimes in the middle. And that is why it gets wonky, I think. Now I will try to cut in the outer circle here. Yeah, it's also a little wonky, but what the heck, Monkey is my middle name. Yeah, and save these, you never know when you can get use of them. So now I am ready for beginning to stitch. So I will thread my needle and find my glue sticks. I will just give them a few dabs of glue so they are sitting there, but I can remove that for a start. But yeah, just a second. I have taken my glue stick and I just dabbed a few places here and placed it so now it's sitting there and not running away while I'm stitching. But I will show you how to use, not use, but how to sew these fly stitches. I will make a quite big stitch so you can see what I'm doing. You come up and then you go down in the same level, come up in the middle, further down, here, like this. And then you make a French knot, and if you will turn 1, 2 or 3 times around, that's up to you. And then you go down nearly the same place. Keep the tension on the French knot and pull your thread through here. And then you have a fly stitch with a knot. I can do it again. Come up, go down, come up. And normally you would go down here if you want to make a normal fly stitch. But instead I am 1, 2, 3 turning it around and going down nearly the same place where you come up. Keep the tension of your threads and pull your thread through, and then you have a little V here and a knot in the bottom of that. That is the stitch we're going to use, and only this stitch. So I will put this aside, and I have decided to start with this kind of color because I think I can see it both places. So now it's up to you which way you will turn them, or how you will, if you will have your knot ended here in the ring, or if you will have your knot ended here in the black, or you will start here, or if you will start in the outer ring. That's totally up to you. You just have to sew this ring down. So I think I will, yeah, what do I want to do? Because it's a little wonky. So here I will hit the line, and I won't hit the line up there. And yeah, there's nothing I could do about that. Then they will be quite, if I go for the line, they will be quite big some places, but I can try and see how I think it looks. And then we'll go down, and then I will go down in the middle here and hit the black ring, and then make my knot there. But I think I like to see more of the thread, the yellow thread in the black, so perhaps it is doing it in the black ring. That could also be an option. So let us see how that looks. You can see that is also things I consider and things I am thinking of while I'm doing it, because I haven't thought so far when I started this up where I wanted to place them, only that I know I have to secure the black ring here. So if I come up in the black ring here and go here and come up in the middle, there. Yeah, I think I will go for that. That looks quite nice with that color. And 1, 2, 3. Go down nearly in the same place. Keep the tension. And that is a fine small one. How close or how big you will make them, that's up to you, but we also have to do it in the inner ring here. So, and I think I will change color there. So again, I will go down here, there, 1, 2, 3, keep the tension, and go down nearly in the same hole. And I can see I have pulled a little too much in the legs here, so it won't look nice, so I can just correct it. 1, 2, 3, and down here. Keep the tension. And I think I should change needle. I am sewing with a chenille needle and the head is a little big, and that is not the wisest thing to do when you're doing French knots. But let us see if I can do it. Yeah, the next one. And the French knot, 1, 2, 3, and nearly down in the same hole. And keep the tension. There. There. Can you see them? They look quite nice, I think. A little space and up again. Here and down and up in the middle. There. 1, 2, 3. Down nearly in the same hole. There. It's a piece of linen, this fabric here, so I think it is sturdy enough to sewing. For the normally when if it's a flimsy piece of fabric I'm sewing in, I back it with an old piece from a sheet or something. And now there's a knot here on my thread, and I don't like that. Here we go. Like that. And don't pull so much in your thread so this is curling. 1, 2, 3, and here nearly in the same hole. There. So there. I will do this all the way around, and then I can show it to you. Oh, sorry if I'm shaking you. So done with the first round, and now this wheel here isn't running anywhere or rolling anywhere. So I will change thread to this yellow one. I don't know if you can see the difference, but I know it's different. So I will, yeah, what do I want to do? I think it is best to make them the same way, because if I'm turning them around, the stitch is filling more up there than down there. So I think I would go for the same. but I can try and see how that looks. Perhaps I should make them a little bigger. I think I will do that. So off here with my thread again. Yeah, you have to see me changing my mind and playing along as I go. But that is maybe also fine to see that. And I think I will come up here, there. And make the French knot. 1, 2, 3, and go down under where I came up. So now the dot will be here in the ring inside in the yellow area, but I think that perhaps it's all right. Sometimes you have to do more than one stitch to see if you like it. Yeah, I think it's fine doing it like this. Make them a little bigger. But of course you can make them any size you want and place them anywhere you want, as long as you sew the black circle down. There are probably many other ways you could do it, but use this stitch and sew them down. Sew the black circle down with the stitch. That is all I ask of you. Yeah, I think this looks quite fine. So I will continue all the way around and show it to you when I have come around. So done with this round, and I think it looks quite nice. In the hindsight, it wasn't perhaps necessary to trace this circle. Perhaps I just should have cut this this ring out and placed it. But I don't think I can get this to disappear now. So I think perhaps I will just do a round of running stitches with the thread that is most to be the thread that is not to be seen so much. But I have changed my thread again, and now I want to put this little piece down here, so I will just dab it so it isn't running anywhere and center it the best I can. I think that is nice. And then I will see if I can do this exact same here. Since it's such a small piece, I think I will do what I'm normally is doing. You know, the thing with 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and fill the stitches in there between afterwards to see how many. There, then I will turn it 90 degrees and make a stitch there. Whoops, it is disappearing under here. Come out with you, Fred. 1, 2, 3, and a little under, and tension on your thread. There. And again there. One, two, three. And tension. Yeah. And the last of the 4 corners of the world here of, or you can say north, south, east, west, and so on. There. So now, is it possible to get 2 stitches in or 1 stitch? And I think not to be too crowded in there, I would just put 1 stitch in here between. There. Yeah, that is fine. If you have made them narrower, you could always have put more stitches in, but I haven't. There. I think that looks nice. So I will sew the rest of them, and then I will decide, perhaps I should do a black line there. Oh my, then I have to fix or get my black thread. I think it is lying in my couch. I have another project going on there in the evenings, but I will be back with another thread and a black thread and have sewn this. So here I am again. So it looks so nice, and that is a smart way to do it if you want to be sure you have room enough by dividing them up in four places and fill the spaces in between. But I have also starting here with my black thread, and I think it's okay, but I will see how, if I don't do this, it just looks quite fine. But I will end up seeing how crooked this must be somehow, because there's not so much space between there as there is there. But I don't want to see that pencil line there either. So it is a plague, or I don't know what the other disease is called. In Danish it is called cholera. And perhaps it's something about that. It's a saying we have, if you have to choose between 2 not so nice things, you have to be choosing between plague and the other disease. But I will sew this all the way around, and then I will also cut a little of it off so it can be in my book, and then I will say it is dusted and done. So I will do that and be back. So done with this circle here, and I think it looks so nice. And I have also cut the edges clean, or a little smaller, so it can be in my book. And I think I want it in my book this way, so I will just turn it over and find my double-sided tape. If you have a book you put yours in and you have twice as many pages as you can of course sew this in your book, but I can't do that because I have things on both sides, and if I was sewing here they would end up stitches here, and perhaps I can cover them, but perhaps I won't, so I have chosen to put this double-sided tape on here. So, and this is always the tricky part, and I hate doing it on camera. And if I don't succeed now, I will, that is, I would have shut the camera down. So now I will stand up and eyeball it. Whoops. There. Just squeeze it down. Can come up a little there. And I think that looks very, very nice. So I'm excited to what to do next week, because I have this fabric and I have it in a little darker green and another dark green. It's the same fabric. It was very nice to stitch into, so I think I would do something with that. I hope you have been inspired, or at least you think it is a nice challenge this week here. I'm looking forward to see some of your interpretations of these Dogma rules here for this week 34. And if you want to show them in your group, in the Facebook group, join the group. And if you're not on Facebook, you can use the 2 hashtags I not always, but I also have put here in the link below. So then I can see what you're doing on Instagram also. So I will just say, if you have liked this, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be very helpful of you, and spread the news. You can still join the group and start from here, or go back and start with week 1. That people are coming to all the time, so I don't mind if you do it one of the ways. Just that you are participating makes me happy. But there also is a notification bell you can hit if you want to get a notification when I put these videos up. But it is every Thursday Danish time to about 12 o'clock. It is probably another time where you are living, but so it may be. But I will only say take care and be creative, and see you next week. Bye bye, farvel, adieu.